Hello. How you guys doing this morning? It is 10:09, and it is Thursday, April 7th, 2022. I watched a interview of Jim Carrey on CBS morning show, and they were talking about the Chris Rock, Will Smith slapgate controversy. I guess they're calling that now, the slapgate, He made a good point that everybody that was there, the ones that did the standing ovation, what Will Smith did, which was complete bullshit. Now I do agree with that. Gayle King said that there was it was escalated. Nothing was escalated. Jim Carrey was right about that one. And Will Smith is a good actor. He's a good rapper. He started his career as a rapper in the mid to late 80s. If y'all remember the video that he did with DJ Jazzy Jeff and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Now, he's been an actor for 3 decades. Good artist, good actor, won awards, but you don't hardly hear anybody getting up and stopping somebody over a joke, except for what happened at the Oscars. And so I'm like, watched this interview, and he said that there's something going on with Will Smith from within himself. Here, let me get the thing here. Let me bring it up here. Okay. Now this was
I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
Jim Carrey weighed in on Will Smith's Oscar controversy during a new interview with Gayle King for CBS Morning.
They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous.
Jim Carrey was on hand promoting his new movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but yeah, he made it clear how he felt about Will Smith's actions on Sunday night.
You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Since Sunday night, the Academy has launched a formal review into Smith's actions on stage, and Will has since issued a statement apologizing to Chris Rock, saying in part, quote, "I would like to
there was so much in that interview that, I mean, Hollywood is completely trash now. Completely trash.
We apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong.
Comedians are weighing in on the Will Smith-Chris Rock incident, with several coming to the defense of Chris, praising him for how he handled the situation. Jeff Ross called Chris a class act on Instagram, writing in part, "I worship Chris Rock. I cried when I saw Smith attack him because I was watching my idol live out a comedian's worst nightmare on live television.
Oh, yeah.
Rock should get a Nobel
It's
Peace
insane.
Prize for keeping his hands down and not escalating the situation." Jeff also revealed that he has alopecia, but when people make jokes, I laugh because that's life.
Because it is. And meanwhile, Howard Stern and comedian Nikki Glazer weighed in on Howard's radio show on Sirius XM, questioning why security did nothing.
I don't know. I mean, comedians are supposed to be. They're funny. They push the envelope. There are some comedians that do push the envelope and are funny. There are some comedians that are like George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, that Bill Hicks also, that are, you could say they are anti-establishment type comedians, funny, but also get you to think about life in pop culture, social issues, all kinds of important things that really need to be looked at for years to come. Like, I mean, comedians, again, are there to, supposed to make people laugh. But if you all of a sudden get offended and get mad over a joke, that's, I mean, now these days people are easily offended, which there's no reason to be offended, really. I think that when you there's a joke there, George Carlin, about around 89, he had a show on HBO, and he talked about the changing of the word, and he also talked about how feminists are wanting to change the word and would attack you if you're a comedian and you made a joke about rape. For example, he mentioned on how the joke can be funny on how you can perceive the joke, as in Elmer Fudd raped Porky Pig. Hey, Porky was asking for it, which Porky was coming on to me. Porky had a hard on and shit, you know. And comedy is supposed to be where just you want to laugh. You want to laugh, but in some cases recently, you got these Karens so offended over a joke. I watched a footage of this Karen get up on stage, try to stop a show because she was offended over a joke. And I'm sitting here like, you're supposed to have a good time, laugh, take the ease off, watch a good show, hear a funny joke. And one of the comedians I like, and I'll be honest, Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais, these two guys. I mean, look at also Frankie Boyle became one of my favorite Scottish comedians. Funny but very dark. And these kind of comedians don't give a fuck, okay? They don't. They don't care if you're offended. Like, they give a shit. They don't care if you're offended. All they care about is make people laugh and just... Because when it comes to comedy, anything goes. Anything goes. That's how comedy is. Anything goes as long as it's a joke. And it's not towards anybody, where it's like you're talking to somebody for real with a joke. Keep it a joke. Keep it simple, where it's funny and where it's not vengeful. I've been a big fan of comedy my whole life. You know, I've watched Robin Williams, George Carlin, Rodney Dangerfield. Billy Crystal. I mean, these guys were funny. Sam Kinison, Andy Dice Clay, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. But tell you what, if Don Rickles was alive today, he would throw out the biggest insult joke to every single Karen, feminist, SJW, woke mafia, anybody, in just a few words. He would roast you to your face. But it's funny. Why? Because comedy is about making people laugh and smile and have a great night and just have a good laugh. But now these days, you can't tell a joke because comedians nowadays are afraid to even do a show. But my kind of comedian are the ones that have balls and don't give a shit. With balls and don't give a shit about your feelings or if you're offended. That's my kind of comedians. Ballsy, brash, and don't give a fuck.
And allowed Will to sit there for the rest of the show.
Will stand by and watch a guy get assaulted with no repercussions. I like that they go, well, Chris Rock didn't press any charges. Why does Chris Rock have to press charges?
Everyone saw an assault take place. Everyone in the room with their own eyes. And then if you would have tuned in 20 minutes later, you would have never known that happened.
Look, this is a live television event.
That's what I was kind of shocked
But why
by.
the standing
How
ovation,
they kept
though,
cutting
after the
back,
slap?
and he was still there and everything was fine. And then he wins and everyone's a little hesitant at first and kind of shocked. And then by the end of it, everyone's cheering and on his side. But anyone who heckles during a comedian's performance gets kicked out normally, you know?
T.I. He's trying to be a comedian now. Going from hip-hop to comedy. He was heckling this female comedian. Okay? And anybody who heckles a comedian should be automatically kicked out. Because heckling a comedian is asking to get your ass kicked after the show, you know. But here's a guy who went face to face with what's her name? Candace Owens, and got roasted to his face. And he got up and I mean, here's a guy who's a comedian, wants to be a comedian. Here's the thing. To be a comedian, you have to have the balls to dish it out and take it as well. You're not a comedian if you dish it out but don't like getting it in return. So I think that T.I.'s comedic career may be short-lived. Stick to rapping. Hey, T.I., stick to rapping, you dumb shit. Comedy's probably not your thing since you don't like getting heat. I want to
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrating. And I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing. I mean, bravo.
There made so much sense there, and I would say that Jim Carrey did hit on the nail on the head, big time, literally big time. I think he did, but Will Smith's punishment ain't even over. Now the Academy is wanting him to return the Best Actor award that he won at the Oscars. And what he did was completely uncalled for. I mean, if you look at every single Academy Award, did anybody get violent with anybody? No. They were there to enjoy themselves, meet other actors, and they got the award. That's it. There were some jokes, but nobody got offended, and slap somebody, you know. But that would be, with what Will Smith did, that would be the first time in any awards in history that somebody got slapped over a joke, over a mild joke. You know, over a mild joke. I mean, in whose right mind would have predicted this to happen? I don't think anybody has ever predicted. I see somebody getting slapped for over a minor joke, and somebody's wife did the face of a fake victim, and her husband was laughing. Then when he saw her face, he decided to get his ass up and slap the funny guy. So I don't think anybody would ever predict this shit, you know. But Netflix and Sony completely booted his ass because you know, and look, I thought about this. Instead of seeing what Will Smith did, be a better man than to slap the guy, go backstage, talk to him, say, hey, you know, the joke was funny, I laughed, but my wife did not like that joke. At least there should have been a non-violent confrontation and more civil, you know. Instead of yelling, should have waited till the Oscars were over, go backstage, talk to Chris Rock, say, hey brother, the joke was funny, but my wife didn't like, she didn't, but you know. But Jada Pinkett Smith said that Chris Rock's joke was racist and patriarchy. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, so I read the article and racist? No. Patriarchy don't exist. So I'm sitting here, I'm reading this shit. Okay? I'm reading this shit. And both of them are getting a huge backlash. What's ever going on within Will Smith, I hope in the long run that whatever is going on wrong with him, hope he's takes care of it, deal with it in private. I think that once you fuck up the way he did, it's gonna haunt you. And Jim Carrey's right. It will be on the internet forever. It'll be on the internet forever. It will be it will be his haunting moment for the rest of his life. Will he be blackballed? Probably. Blacklisted? Probably. Because of his actions. But the guy that his wife slept with, he's been offered a buttload of money from a couple of companies that want him to write a tell-all book about the ordeal between him and her. And now, the only time you hear something about somebody writing a tell-all book, either to sell, to make a little bit of, to get a few bucks in their pocket, or they write a memoir or an autobiography of themselves. I mean, from birth till whatever. But I think the tell-all book about what happened here, I think that would be a huge mistake. Because if some publishers want you to write a tell-all book, there's a good chance that it might blow up in your face. You know? And or it could be sued for cashing in on the Will Smith slapgate bullshit, you know, which is a bad idea, worst idea ever, bad idea, because all you're doing is adding more kindling to the fire, which needs to be put out immediately, as soon as possible. But I think this will die soon. I think people would, I would say I would give it a few months to a year or so minimum there, that it will kind of die down, because something like this doesn't last very long, because people would forget about it, but still remember a little bit of it on the back of their minds when they see a footage years later and whatnot. The best thing to do is let this die down, let it take its course, and let Will Smith take his punishment and call it a day. So, tell me what you thinking. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe, leave a like, comment below. Hit the bell for notification. Please share this video. And pretty much it. So I am Grandmaster Evan, and this has been the Anonymous Republic Network. Always live healthy, happy, wise. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed.